You guys loved all the crazy, scary stuff submarines are fishing up in the first video, so let's do it again. Here are the top 5 submarine discoveries that were never supposed to be seen by anyone, part 2. Number 5 on this list is Chuck Lagoon. You know, I've always really liked the word lagoon. Something about it just feels so calming and nice. A lagoon, like a relaxing place to rest. Or at least that's what I think it should be. Not really the type of vibe that we get at the Chuck Lagoon. Scuba Travel says Chuck Lagoon is over 2,000 miles east of the Philippines in the Pacific Ocean. It's remote. The nearest states to Chuck are Guam at 1,000 kilometers to the northeast and Palau at 1,800 kilometers to the west. Chuck Lagoon is famous in diving circles for its World War II wreck dives. More than 60 Japanese ships and aircraft were sunk by the US Navy in February 1944 during Operation Hailstone. Better known by divers as Truck Lagoon, nowhere else in the world can you find so many wrecks in such clear water. It is pretty crazy, to be honest, folks. We are talking tons of World War II stuff here, guys. Which on one hand is kind of cool, like you get to see the wreckage of what happened, but then on the other side of things, real people died here. I wouldn't be surprised if you could find skeletons down there. Real World War II skeletons that died back then. I know we're pretty far removed from the actual fighting, but these would have been brutal battles that went on here. It almost feels wrong to see this considering we were never a part of that. Number 4 on this list is the black dragon fish. These fish are right up there as being the grossest, scariest looking fish I have ever seen in my freaking life. I think I could have gone my entire existence without ever knowing these things were real, but here we are, folks. Kedaddle writes, the black dragonfish is a small, long, slender fish that has fang-like teeth and are sexually dimorphic. Black dragonfishes are found all over the globe in southern subtropical and temperate oceans in the latitude range of 25 south and 60 degrees south. In the depths of around 2,000 meters that are also a depth of 5,000 to 7,000 feet. They're also strange looking and are known for qualities including bioluminescence, their method of hunting, and their unique method of reproduction. This predator is found in the Indo-Pacific Ocean and uses its bioluminescence to attract prey. Unlike most predators who use their light to attract a prey in the Pacific Ocean, these fishes can also see their own light and use it as a light source during hunting as well. Females have very small eyes compared to the males of this species. The black dragonfish larvae have long stalks hanging from its body, which function as eyes for these fishes. Their long stalks are almost half their body length. I looked at pictures of the larvae and they are messed up, dude. We are talking straight up alien level stuff here, folks. Like not from this world, directly from another planet or someone's imagination. They also don't get any better when they grow up either. They just get meaner and scarier looking. If I was in a sub and was the first person to lay my eyes on this thing, that might have actually been game over for me, folks. Don't know if I would have been able to recover from that mentally. Number 3 on this list is the USS Johnston. USS Johnston is considered to be the world's deepest shipwreck. That is a pretty scary title to hold if you ask me. The story of how the Johnston went under is pretty scary as well. CNN Travel writes, the Johnston was captained by Commander Ernest Evans, a Native American from Oklahoma. Along with 2 other US destroyers and 4 smaller destroyer escorts, Evans led the Johnston into attacking a far superior Japanese force of 4 battleships, 6 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 11 destroyers according to the NHHC account of the battle. In an initial encounter, fire from the Johnston knocked out a Japanese cruiser, but the US destroyer was heavily damaged and its ammunition depleted. Evans himself was seriously wounded. Undaunted, Evans regrouped his crew and the Johnston attacked the Japanese ships again, drawing their fire from a nearby US aircraft carrier. After 2.5 hours of fighting, the Johnston was without power and surrounded by Japanese ships. Evans ordered the crew to abandon ship and it rolled over and sank. Pretty sad war story right there, guys. Out of the crew of 327 that were on that ship, 186 of them died. These men likely would have sank to the bottom of the ocean with the wreckage as well. Now the wreck sits way deep into the ocean where only submarines are able to go down and see. It just so happened to sink where the ocean is extremely deep and it kept falling and falling to the bottom. I cannot imagine seeing that with your own eyes for the first time. knowing what had happened and seeing the wreckage. Imagining the stories of it happening as you see it and put it all together. Very real, very scary shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean here. Number 2 on this list is the Dead Squids. Last time, in the first part of this series, we did an entry looking at giant squids. Specifically, it was 2 giant squids literally attacking a submarine. Very scary and very lucky that the people on board that submarine managed to get out with their lives. Well, this time we're going to be looking at similar squids, but they aren't attacking the sub, they're actually dead. Monterey Bay Research Institute says, a recent paper describes an unusual discovery. Dead squid littered across the deep sea floor. Dead squid littered across the deep sea bottom of the Gulf of California. It's a squid graveyard that might be a boon for deep sea animals. With an egg sheet blocking their ability to feed, female deep sea squid fast while their eggs develop. By the time the babies have hatched and swum away, a mother squid will have used up all of her stored energy and resources. The carcasses that the researchers found were likely these females, accompanied by the remnants of their reproductive efforts. So we have a bunch of dead squids just on the ground. Imagine coming across that in a submarine. I would think, holy crap, where is the sea monster that just killed these things and am I next? Also, want to hear another super creepy thing about this? They came upon them, and because it's the sea and there are a lot of bottom dwellers, well, all of these corpses were getting eaten by other animals. Starfish, other bottom feeders that lived down there, they were having quite a meal considering there were tons of massive dead squids everywhere. Also, total sidebar right here, but I never knew that about squids. That the mother squid basically has to sacrifice herself to wait for the eggs to develop. I feel like there needs to be like a children's movie based on that, or like some type of story, because that's a freaking tearjerker, man. And finally, number 1 on this list is the SS Gaursoppa. We are looking at another shipwreck here, my friends. Now this one is pretty much just as scary as the last one, but there is a bit of a catch. It might actually be a shipwreck that you would want to find. Let me explain. Wikipedia says the SS Gaursoppa was a British steam merchant ship built in Jarrow and launched in 1919. After a long civilian career, she saw service during the Second World War. She was named after the town of Gaursoppa on the banks of River Shavarti in Karnataka, India, which, due to its easy access to water transportation and as a distribution center for crops including pepper, was the commercial capital for centuries. She sailed with several convoys before joining convoy SL-64 in February 1941. Gaursoppa left the convoy when she exhausted the majority of her fuel and was making her way to Galway, Ireland, when a German U-boat fired a torpedo that sank her with the loss of 85 lives. The wreck of the Gaursoppa was discovered in 2011, and it was announced that an operation to recover its cargo of silver bullion with an estimated value of 150 million euros would begin in 2012. On July 18, 2013, Odyssey Marine Exploration of Tampa, Florida, US reported that it had recovered 110 tons of silver. So yeah, we got a bit of a mixed bag on this one, guys. On one hand, you probably have mental trauma now after finding a bunch of dead bodies from the war, but on the other side, you're also a millionaire now. So yeah, bit of a tough one there. I think I'd have to get the millions, but it would definitely be challenging to go through it, that's for sure. But there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 submarine discoveries that were never supposed to be seen by anyone, part 2. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this list and some other crazy underwater discoveries that you know about. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Blaylog, and I'll catch you next time.